Okay guys, so here's what we'll do for the next test. I've got the Para 2. This is fresh after refinishing the edge after the cardboard cutting. So now I think I'm going to do two tests. One's going to be a drop test on the concrete. So basically I'm going to drop it, just like I came out of my pocket, lifted it up a little bit, dropped it on its butt end there. Let's do the top, flip the blade open. Let's do side, popped around. Now pocket clip. Definitely, man, that made it fly freaking right open. Sorry, I was just taking a look at it. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll take this back inside and kind of do a closer look. I don't see anything right off the bat that looks like any damage, and I figure that's that's a fair test. Actually, let's do back and let's do the top. That's a pretty fair test, I think. People drop their knives all the time, and this is not a ridiculous height. This is holding height. This is, man, I gotta admit though, I did kind of cringe when I dropped this right then. But it looks good, Now the next one is gonna be kind of tip strength. Now, this is obviously not meant for any sort of tip prying at all. And I wouldn't want to test it as such, because testing something out of it's kind of what it's advertised or meant to be is just pretty stupid. So what we'll do is actually something a little different. I think I will drop it tip down into this wood particle board, so it's not super soft, but it's not really hard, and we'll just drop it like that. And what I figured that would do is kind of let's actually get closer. Obviously as it hits, you can see how it's kind of wobbling back and forth. Let's go even higher. Let's go head height. Oh yeah, see, look at that. That went down at an angle. So that totally would have put some stress on the tip. And you can see how deep it penetrated right there with that discoloration. So let's, I think that's it for this test. This will be a pretty quick one compared to the last one. Let's take this inside, plus it's really freaking hot in this garage. I'm sweating like a pig. Let's take this inside. Let's take a look at it, see if we can see any issues or marks and things like that. All right guys, so we are back inside after the drop test. I dropped it more or less on the spine. I think it may have hit at a slight angle. Dropped it on the back, dropped it down, up, side, this side. It definitely popped open a number of times. And then the next thing I did was do a tip drop. So it dropped into kind of some semi-hard wood, and especially that last one, it fell at an angle, and so it had, that would give it quite a bit of pressure this way. And as I mentioned, my intent in this video is not to break this knife. I'm not trying to see how far I can go before this thing breaks. I'd rather it not break. Okay, dude, I don't want to smell it. No thank you. Anyway, sorry. So my intent is not to break this knife, just to make that clear. I do, however, want to see how it handles some of the more extreme regular use. So that's kind of how I'm framing things. Kind of like, you've got an EDC, you're using it. What's the worst case scenario? You drop it. You have to cut through a butt ton of nasty cardboard, that kind of thing. Maybe you drop it in the mud, something like that. Something a little more on the practical side, and not just beating the crap out of it. Oh my god, my freaking kid is cracking me up over there. But looking at it, I mean, there's no real damage here. There's a few scuffs on the G10. It only slightly scratched this clip. Yeah, I don't think it actually hit the spine on the concrete at all. I don't see any marks. The tip looks exactly the same as it was. I don't see, well, sorry, I'm trying to, I don't think it's bent. Maybe. No, I don't know. It seems pretty intact. It may have flattened it out just a tad. It's kind of hard to tell, but you know, it's pretty minuscule. God, if there's one thing I wish I would have done, it's bought a better camera. So yeah, it still looks pretty good. What I think, well, maybe I need to kick this test up a notch. It's getting kind of boring. Maybe I should stab some beer cans or something. That might be kind of fun. I don't know. We'll see. So that's where it stands now. Let me know if you guys want to see me do anything else. I kind of laid out the kind of what I'm looking for in terms of tests and things. I wouldn't mind trying a little bit more prying action, nothing too extreme. You know, like I mentioned, this is not built for prying in any way, shape, or form, but you know, sometimes you need to do something, you know, and I was racking my brain trying to think of something that you would need to possibly open, that you would want something like that kind of real needle tip, you know, maybe stick it in and kind of twist it and pry something open, but I can't really think of what that object could be, especially in daily use. Alright guys, till next time.